1168. Is there something else coming, or is that?
I think that was the news, Judge.
I thought there was like
So you're Jeremiah Branch?
Well, there's 26 DCCR 0958 and 26 DCCR 1167, the two new cases.
I've got Mr. Kimler on one of those new cases, but not the Mr. Kimler.
Not the latest.
Yeah, I don't have.
1168 is the latest one. He was also indicted 3 weeks before that on a aggravated robbery.
1168 is what I don't have.
Yes, I have you. No, that's what he's taking up on.
Okay, thank you. All right. So if you'll get a notice filed on that, Mr. Branch is charged with aggravated robbery, assault on a peace officer, robbery, and then the last one is another robbery allegation. And what is the announcement?
He has a bond, I suppose. There's an NTRP.
Have you filed a motion for a bond? Or what do you?
Yeah, we're asking for a bond on the NTRP. NTRPs.
Did she print out the orders on those? Is that this? Yes, ma'am. Okay. So clause number 25 DCCR 1382, which is an assault on a peace officer, and 25 DCCR 1385, which is a robbery, are both motion to revoke probations. And there are no bonds currently set. Is that correct in those cases? And Mr. Kimler has filed a request that I set a bond in each of those cases. So there's been a first amended filed in each of these. So he was placed on probation February 3rd of 2026. In both cases is 10-year deferred probations, and the allegations are a new aggravated robbery from April of 2026, testing positive for cocaine on several occasions, failing to submit to drug or alcohol screening on several occasions, failed to comply with Texas Drug Education Program, a new offense of evading arrest or detention from February 6th, resisting arrest or transportation February 6th. And so, Mr. Kimler, you may proceed.
Well, Your Honor, they're deferred adjudicated probations. We would just request to reach with NTRP bonds. If the bonds are denied, we would request a disposition on the NTRPs within 20 days and request for the bond for something. Procedure.
Is there any evidence with regard to your client's ability to make a bond, or?
Well, Your Honor, I think he's entitled to a bond. I haven't filed a writ to challenge the amount of the bond because it hasn't been set yet. So I'm waiting for the court to set the bond. If that's excessive, then I would follow.
If I'm going to set a bond, I need to have information on what his ability is so that I don't set one and then we're back in here.
I can listen to it.
Raise your right hand the best you can, please, sir. You swear affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Branch, please inform the court of your current financial situation.
I get $1,000 every month, and it's available.
And other than that, do you have any income?
I don't food stamps, and I was gonna look for part-time job too.
What is your disability that prevents you from working?
Seizures, but they told me I could work for like I could work for like 34 hours or something.
No supplement your
Yeah.
Do you have any assets? You own your own car?
I own my own cars.
Are you undertaking?
I'm not able to get rid of rights.
Are they giving you medication at the jail?
Yeah, they just put me on the new medicine, and it's been working. Everybody in the dorm safe. I haven't been having procedures or outbursts.
What medication are you on?
I've been trying to get the name of it, but I tried to ask my nurse the name of it this morning, but I was sleeping.
Are you functioning okay now?
Yeah, I'm functioning way better than now. I haven't, but when I got here to, like, first, put me in, I had, like, they definitely in the booking was on, the booking, the front booking for, like, 4 days. And I had, like, 5 sequences left.
If the judge grants you a bond and you're able to get out, would you follow up maybe as a condition of your probation or condition of your bond within H.R.
Yes, sir.
to continue the treatment?
Yes, sir.
And as far as your other financial assets, you don't own your own car, do you rent, or where do you live?
I stay with my moms.
Okay. And your monthly expenses about what means or food?
She pays the bill and I'm on food stamp.
Password.
No questions, Judge.
Okay, so for the record, I'm taking judicial notice of the court's files in all of the cases. And so give me just a second. I'm right now going over the probable cause affidavits and those 2 new offenses. Then I'm going to do something else as well. Any witnesses, Mr. Smith, or just argument?
Just argument.
All right, give me just a second then.
I'll make it.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Almost there. Give me just a second. Also reviewing the pre-sentence report from the 2 cases where he was placed on probation as well in January of this year. So there was already information when he was placed on probation in January with regard to some mental health issues, and that was addressed. So he was placed on the mental health caseload. So it looks like that's not a new information, but he had some. Okay, Mr. Smith.
Judge, I understand that these are deferred cases, but the state is opposed to setting bond based on the nature of the crimes that he was on probation for and the nature of the crimes that he committed within 2 months of being placed on probation for these first robberies. He, on top of the 2 felonies that are filed, there's also evading and resisting that are pending in misdemeanor court. He has failed several drug tests. He's refused to take other drug tests, indicating to me that he is probably under the influence of illegal narcotics most of the time. And for those reasons, I believe he is a danger to our community, and I would request no bond in these cases.
I would just add, Your Honor, if the court refuses to set a bond requesting us disposition within 20 days of their financial fees.
So here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Branch. So the underlying offense that you're on probation for is a robbery and an assault on a peace officer. And the robbery occurred at Delaware Food Mart, went in, attempting to steal, assaulted the clerk, and then they held you there while the police got there. And here we are 2 months after you got placed on probation, or 3 months after you got placed on probation for a robbery of a store. And we've got 2 additional robberies of the same store 3 days apart that are alleged. So obviously I agree with Mr. Smith. I think that you are a danger to our society. I am going to set bonds. I'm going to set bonds in each of your cases at $300,000. Conditions of those bonds, if you make them, are that you are on house arrest with a GPS monitoring device, and then we'll set your case for the appropriate hearing. All right. Thank you. All right, sir, are you Marvin Lee Watts Jr.? And Mr. Parker, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment in each case?
That's right.
Mr. Watson, cause number 25, DCCR 1918. You're charged with the first-degree felony offense of aggravated robbery from October 2nd of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you did what they charged you with? And then in clause number 26, DCCR 0946, you're also charged with a first-degree felony offense of aggravated robbery. This is from September 12th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge? Again, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And because you did what they charged you with? In each of those cases, I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state's marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Parker? Do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreements that you've made with the district attorney's office, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal? And it looks like the agreement that you've reached in each of your cases is for a cap of 17 years in prison, which means you're leaving your punishment up to me. I can give you 17 years. I can give you less. It'll all depend on the information that's brought to me at a sentencing hearing. You have every right to have a jury come in and decide 2 things. First, to decide if you're guilty or not. And then if they find you guilty, you can leave your punishment up to that jury. If we go forward this way, you're waiving that. And is that what you want to do? So you have, what you've agreed to is a cap of 17 years, which means a cap, all that means is that you're leaving your punishment up to me. And you could, if you wanted, have a jury decide instead of me. But if we go forward this way with the papers that you've signed that says that you're waiving a jury and that you want me to sentence you within that range of punishment, which would be between 5 years up to 17 years, there's the possibility of probation. It'll all, again, depend on what information I get when we come back for sentencing. And is that what you want to do? Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal laws? State tenders number 1 in each case.
Objection.
It's admitted in each case. Is there any evidence that Mr. Watts is not competent?
Okay.
All right, sir. In each of your cases, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of those pleas. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to reset your cases for sentencing so that the probation department can do a pre-sentence report that'll give me more information about you and your cases for when we come back for sentencing. Anything that you think is important for me to know, make sure you get that information to Mr. Parker. He'll present it to me on your behalf.
Yes.
All right, we can go back with the baby.
Don't mistake a guilty plea for the end of the story. Before deciding the final sentence, the judge orders a pre-sentence investigation, or PSI. That report digs into the defendant's background, criminal history, employment, family life, and rehabilitation efforts. Sometimes it leads to probation. Other times it confirms that prison is the only option. Which way do you think this case is headed? Let us know in the comments.